Okay. All right. I don't know how much of y'all caught, but I'm out here right now and give a thought. Y'all bought the farm. No, I didn't cause harm to anybody. I'm going to make sure I talk to Hotties and all the brothers. Yo, we got another show coming through, and I'm talking to you. You have to feel this concept. Yo, on this, you can never ever be slept. You got to stay awake and take another listen. We going to do this thing. I'm talking to you, not dissing. Yo, we got a lot of concepts to fill, and I'm going to keep this 100% real. Tonight we talking about when the man loves the woman most, and it goes right from coast to coast. They say when a man loves a woman a lot more, then that relationship will be more secure. And maybe that is the truth. But what if she starts treating him like Dylan Roof? You know what I'm talking about, yo. Disrespect. I don't know. All the time she coming at his neck, and I say this sector of the thing that we are talking about. Yeah, we're going to have to take a different route. I am on this thing to try to make sure that we get through like the kings and queens. Yeah, by any and all means, we going to make at least 100 beans and start to build and elevate. Take it from the floor to the ceiling. Yeah, it gets appealing. What's going on, y'all? Friday night, we made it through. We made it through Friday night. Sheesh. This wasn't easy. I don't know about y'all. But this was not an easy week. And it seemed like it went fast at the end, but it seemed like it kind of dragged out along the way. But we are here in this Friday night, Flashback Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And tonight on the Daily Go Get 'Em Show, we are talking about it works out better when the man loves the woman more than she loves him. When a man loves a woman more than she loves him, it seems to work out better. I've heard a lot of women say this. Just keeping it a buck. I have heard many women say this. And I've gotten into some discussions surrounding it, some back and forth. There are some clear-cut, obvious reasons why women would feel this way. And then I think that it's still up for debate, close debate, and we can get into it. And it's going to be a good night tonight. I can't account for what's going to happen tomorrow, but tonight we are in good standing, and everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. So let's get into this thing. It's the Daily Go Get 'Em Show. I'm your host, Sun752, aka Omar with the 1 a.m. We normally do this on 2 a.m. Well, that's what we've been doing it lately. That's the time we've been doing it lately. But I got off work a little bit early tonight, so I was able to come home and, I'm saying, get in the studio and make this thing right. So it works out better when the man loves a woman more than she loves him. What are your initial thoughts when you hear that? What are your initial thoughts when you hear a concept like that? Because there may be a lot of believers. There might be a lot of believers that say that, yeah, this is the better scenario. I don't know if it's all women who think that way, or the majority of women who feel that way, or just more women who feel that way than men do. And there may be plenty of men who think that that's a good situation too. But we're going to see about it. And as luck would have it, as luck, faith, and blessings from above would have it, the phones are working tonight. So I already put the number up, and now I pinned the number, and we can get busy. We can get busy. We can spread it on out, because we got a lot tonight to talk about. When a man loves a woman a little more than it really makes that relationship secure, or does it mean that you should be equal? Yeah, we make a sequel, just like a movie that has 1, 2, and 3. It's all about me and you. That equals 2. If we have a baby, yeah, that equals 3. So it's 3. Me, you, and a little baby, and maybe we have a little 4. So 2 plus 2 equals 4. We going to double the score, and me and you, and we make me and yours, they us and ours. We going to build towers. We make a lot of money. We make a lot of love. We make sure that we always fly above above the fray that other people's living from the day to day, the hand to mouth. We ain't going to do that shit. We going out like the king and queens that we were supposed to be. And that's all about nobody else but me and you. Or should I say you and me? That's how it be. And we going to do this thing like we climbing a tree. And we going to take all the leaves and branches, branch out. Me and you, we take her out. What's up, y'all? Talk to me. Talk to me, my folks. Let me see. Let's see. T Carry right morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And IDK. I don't know. What up? And Byron Darnell. What's good? What's good? And Lionel. Oh, no, fuck all that. Fuck you, Lionel. Fuck you, Lionel. Why we gotta start this early? Why we gotta have bitch ass niggas? Are we even too? All right, we 6 minutes in. Why we gotta have bitch ass niggas come through all early on the show? Why? All right, and Mia the official. What's going on, Mia? What's going on? How you feeling? So, what are y'all initial thoughts about this? What are your initial feelings about this topic? Because some of y'all might be living it. If I was a woman, I would probably think that this would be a good situation. And from what I understand, a lot of women think that this is a good situation because if a man loves a woman more than the woman loves the man, then a man will strive to stabilize the relationship and make sure that everybody is happy in the relationship. And in that way, I guess everybody turns out fine. It works out for all parties involved. The man, the woman, the children, both families, maternal and paternal. Everything works out well when the man in the relationship is in love. Not just in love, but in love more. When the scales are like this, maybe even like this. I'm thinking if it's like this, that's not even a good situation because that looks like she don't love him at all. Maybe like this is good. Or should I say like this? Something like that. Whatever. I don't know. I can't really say, but I can understand from a powerful standpoint or from the standpoint of not wanting to get your feelings hurt, of insecurity or vulnerability. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Vulnerability. Holla if you hear me. A lot of women are afraid of love. Not saying that they don't want to be in love, but sometimes some women are afraid of love because they know that that they may love really hard, they may love really deep, and they may really allow love to take over them when they are in a loving situation and basically submit themselves in a way that might not be good to them in the long run. So, how many times does a person have to be used, abused, dissed, fronted on, left behind, neglected, taken for granted, not taken into consideration? How many times does that have to happen before you say, wait a minute, I got to stop giving these cats my all. I got to stop giving them my all because they are not doing me right. I keep leaving these relationships brokenhearted, maybe left without money, assets, and a lot of other things that I came into the situation with. I leave with nothing. And maybe that's due to maybe it's due to them falling so deeply in love that it makes them not only vulnerable, but makes them susceptible to, I don't know, being more submissive, more giving, more, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm vocabularily, if that's a word, I'm vocabularily challenged tonight, but we're going to get it together. We're going to get it together. Everything's going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. But yeah, I can understand from a woman's point of view, how she would take advantage of this situation or or welcome this situation better than a situation where she might have felt like because she loved the man more than she felt like he loved her. Maybe she chased him around. Maybe she allowed herself to be abused by him, used by him, even cheated on, all kinds of negative, toxic type of activities. Maybe she allowed that because she was just so deeply in love with the man. And maybe she feels like, well, if I didn't like him as much as he liked me, then I would be able to maintain control a little bit more. Maybe I would be able to stand my ground a little bit more. Maybe I wouldn't fall so deep into the pitfall of loving Miss Bliss. You know what I mean by Miss Bliss? You know how you misspeak or you misread? Well, if you have Miss Bliss, that means you feel like you're happy, but you're really not. Now, how a person can mistake their own happiness? It's explainable and inexplainable at the same time. Like, have you ever felt that way? Have you ever felt like you were happy, knowing deep down inside that you're not really happy? Maybe you were just putting on a good face for all to see, or maybe you were taking somebody else's situation into consideration. So you said, well, oh, shoot, this could be a whole lot worse. This person is going through this, that, and the third, and I'm not going through all of that, even though maybe my standards are higher than what I've been receiving. Maybe my standards are a little bit higher than I've been receiving, but I have optimism that it's going to get a little better with time. It's going to get a little better with, we're going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. All right. Everything is going to be all right. So it works out better when the woman loves a man. I'm sorry. It works out better when the man loves a woman more than she loves him. What do y'all think? A little quiet out there. We coming in slow, but that's all right. That's all right. Hold on. Let me just make sure that this thing is okay, because for some reason I'm suspecting something that may not be going on. Hold on. All right, let me see. All right, we good. Okay. But yeah, a woman. All right. The first time I heard this kind of concept verbally was on social media. And I heard a bunch of women on this post, and they were defending this thing to the hilt. They were saying, yeah, it's better. They even said that their mom taught them that. They taught them that, find you a man that likes you more than you like him. And I got to thinking about it, like actively find a situation where you don't really like a person that much, or maybe you like them, but you could take them or leave them, but you want to find somebody that can't resist you. You want to find somebody that can't live without you. You want to find somebody that is stuck to you like glue. You want to find somebody that feels like you are the best thing since sliced bread. Find somebody that will, I don't know, answer your every beck and call. Somebody that will always be Johnny on the spot for you. Definitely dependable for you. Somebody that will look out for you emotionally, financially, physically, whatever it takes. Well, I'm thinking if somebody does all of those things for you, well, why would they love you more than you love them? Or why would they like you more than you like them? If somebody is doing everything for you that you want to be done, then why don't you like them? Is it a physical thing? Are we saying somewhere along the line that you should get somebody who is not as good looking as you would like for them to be? I'm just trying to figure this thing out. Figure this thing out. What are we really saying when we say that that a woman is in a better position where she has a man who loves her more than she loves him? When a woman says that it's a better situation when she finds a man who loves her more than she loves him, what are we really talking about? Do you know about it? Have you heard about it? Have you seen it? Have you lived it? Is it next door? Is it somebody in your family? Has it been you? Is it you? And even on the man side, have you ever felt like you were in a situation where you were chasing behind a woman and she was allowing you to chase behind her? Maybe she wasn't maybe she wasn't running away very much, but maybe she wasn't exactly inviting you to be there. She wasn't exactly saying like, listen, this ain't Romeo and Juliet, it's me and you, and we gonna make sure that 1 and 1 will equal 2, and we do what we have to do, and we do it soon. We are sort of like the stars, the sun, and the moon, and I make sure I draw to you like a tide running in the ocean. Yo, you smoother than lotion. I feel like that when we join skin, we can do anything from the beginning to end. And then even if the shift kind of changes, the tide goes back, we still know how to act because we are intact and we don't lack nothing that will keep us together any type of weather. And whether you feel like everybody approves, we going to still get together and make our own moves, and you soothe me, I soothe you. That's how we do, and everything is going to be all right between me and you, and we gonna be good until the time comes when the sun goes down. I'ma still be around. Never would I ever clown or try to put you down when other people come around. I treat you like a man and you treat me like a woman, and we still go swimming in oceans and make sure that everything is like a potion of love. Yo, we discovered each other back in the days. We still be here smoking each other like haze. What's up, y'all? What's up? All right. Mauricio Arellano says, I'm scared. I just found out my girl and I wait a minute. I'm scared. I just found out my girl I just met 2 months ago is pregnant. That's serious shit. That's serious shit. If you're telling the truth, jack me off. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I don't know. Y'all just be coming in here saying anything. Yo, that's a hell of a situation though. And to be honest with you, I've seen worse. So I don't know if you're telling the truth, Mauricio, but man, you got yourself a situation. For real. You have yourself a situation. I don't know how old you are, but if you are really in that scenario and you're like in your 20s or even 30s, yeah, that's a tough one, particularly if you don't have children already, or even if you do, you may not be ready to start a family with somebody, even if y'all together. 2 months of being together, y'all already going raw dog. So, you sort of, put the cart before the horse, but hey, it goes how it go. And I'm not here to be a Monday morning quarterback, but I think if that's the situation that you're actually going through, I would encourage you to have a long conversation about whether y'all have a future together and what are y'all true expectations of each other. Because in a situation like that, somebody might be expecting you to do what they say. I'm expecting you to step up. Yeah, you got to step up. Well, that might not be what you have in your plans. Mauricio says, no lies, brother. Haha. I'm Mexican and she's black. I'm 23. I'm 23 though. Got a good job, but it's still gonna be tough. Let's see. Okay, so you are okay with her having a baby. So at least both of y'all on the same page with that. Listen, man, I don't want to throw no salt on this shit, but I'm just gonna tell you like this. Just make sure that you fully understand that you're going into a situation having a baby with somebody that you don't know. You don't really know her. Now, 23 years old, 2 months might seem like enough time to get to know a person, at least to the point where you know if you like them or not. Okay, that's cool. But when you really think about how long it can take to really get to know a person, I mean, really get to know them how they feel, know how they act and react in certain situations, knowing what makes them afraid, what makes them confident, what makes them conceited, what makes them shy, what makes them angry, what makes them comfortable, what their ambitions are, what their true motivations may be, what their history might influence as far as how they act in the present day and their future. You know what I mean? Just consider that when the baby comes, you'll be getting to know your baby and your woman. That's it's a lot. That's a heavy load. That's a heavy load, my G. But good luck. Definitely. All right. That's what's up. Definitely good luck. So what do y'all think about what we're talking about tonight? What we're talking about tonight is it works better when the man loves the woman more than she loves him. I've heard a lot of women say that that a relationship or a marriage works out better when the man loves a woman more than the woman loves the man. And they say this because when a man loves a woman more than she loves him, then he'll put in more effort to make sure that she's comfortable, that she feels the love, that he'll be more dependable. He will do whatever it takes in order to win her over, basically. What do y'all think about that? Because I understand it, but I'm not sure if I accept it. I understand it, but I'm not sure if I accept it. I understand it because, shoot, who wouldn't want to be in a power position? Who wouldn't want to be in a position where you like a person, but you could take them or leave them? You like them, but if they left, you wouldn't cry. You wouldn't be in a bad place. But you don't mind having them around either. So it's a win-win situation. But is that a win-win situation? Let me know from y'all. Is that a win-win situation? Because I don't really think that let me put it this way. If I feel like I could take you or leave you, then that really means to me that I could leave you. Like, is it just me? I feel like if I'm in a situation where it doesn't really matter to me whether you come, go, lay, stay, or pray, but I don't mind having you around. It's like having a spoiler on your car. The car still drives well without the spoiler. And it's in the back. It don't, I don't see it. It's a spoiler. They say it reduces wind resistance and even can increase gas mileage because of the aerodynamic structure that the spoiler gives you. But the car will still drive fine without the spoiler. Or it could be like an ornament or a picture on a mantle. Bobblehead or some shit like that. On the mantle. They don't build houses with mantles like they used to. Not from the pictures I've seen. I don't know, what do I know? I mean, you pay to have a house built. You can get it built however you want to. But a mantelpiece used to be a big thing. So normally the things that you put on the mantelpiece were things that you were proud of. Trophies, family photos. Can't forget those military photos after you get out of boot camp. You got the American flag on the side. You know what I mean? You suit all pressed, got on your hat. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. You know the military. Come on now. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But it's like the things that are on the mantle should be there. But if they ain't there, it's not blocking the TV. It's not hurting nothing. So I'm not sure for me that would be a good situation. Because like I said, if I could take you or leave you, then that really means that I could leave you. Right? But if I know that being in love for me means going all in and going all out and just sacrificing everything in order to be with you, even if you're not treating me the same way, maybe I might want to be in a situation where I don't love you as much as you love me, or I don't care about you as much as you care about me. It's a protective mechanism for real, for real. That's all it really is. It's a way of being able to protect yourself and keep yourself from feeling vulnerable at those times where you might be open to getting your feelings hurt. Nobody wants to get their feelings hurt. Nobody that I've ever met or I've ever known wants to get their feelings hurt. But it's a rite of passage and you can't avoid it forever. But how do you handle getting your feelings hurt after the fact? Because people take it differently. Were y'all hearing me? Because the mic was all the way down there. Were y'all hearing me? Did y'all hear? Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. You were hearing me? You were hearing me. Well, I don't know. It's good to know that the mic can pick up sounds, even if it's that far away. That thing was right on the floor. I look like, what happened? What happened? All right. But yeah, so I can understand a situation where you might feel like you want to be in a power position. But is that really a power position? Is that really a power position when you don't like a person as much as they like you? You like them enough, but you ain't over the top with your love. It's not spilling over. You wouldn't donate a kidney to them. Yeah, I mean, I understand, you my baby and all of that, and I dig you. But shit, a kidney? I don't know, man. I don't know. I know I have another kidney, but I don't know. Like in my heart of hearts, you should feel like, yeah, I would give up a kidney for you. I wasn't using it anyway. I'll give you both kidneys. I'll go on dialysis for you. All right, that's a little extreme, right? Would they even do that? Would they do that? Like, yeah, listen. I want her to be able to drink beer again. I'm going to give her both of my kidneys. We a match. Like, Mr. McIntyre, I don't think you can, like, I'm not sure if that's even legally, like, I think we can only take both kidneys if you are deceased or something like that and you're a match. And you would have to leave that in your will. That's the only way? All right, hold on. Babe, listen, I know this is going, listen, I know how you feel about me, but I want you to know how I feel about you. Now, I don't want you to have any kind of health problems in your life for the rest of your life. So I'm willing to give up both of my kidneys so that you can have healthy kidneys. But the doctor says the only way that can happen is if I'm deceased. So I'm willing to die for you. That's how much I love you. So, however it gotta go. Just, if you take me out or arrange for me to be taken out, just make sure you don't mess up those kidneys, because you're gonna need them. So we don't want to poison you don't want to poison me or nothing like that, because that could affect the kidney. We don't want to mess up the organs. All right. Well, that's what I got to do, Doc. That's what I got to do. Like Mr. McIntyre, you pardon my candor, but you wilding. Nah, Doc, I ain't wilding. You don't understand. Shoot, maybe you wouldn't. Are you married, Doctor? Are you married, Doc? Yes, I am married. All right, well, I don't know how much you love your wife, but you know what I mean? I love my wife enough to give up both kidneys. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the process of writing my will and getting this insurance shit together, because by next month, you know what I'm saying, she gonna be able to do this. Farewell. Okay, that's mad extreme, right? But I think that you should at least feel like you love that much. And if you don't feel, if you willingly go into an unbalanced situation, even if you feel like your ego makes you want to be the person who is receiving the most and giving the least, is that a good situation for you? Could that be a good situation for you? It works out better when the man loves a woman more than the woman loves a man. It works out better when the man loves a woman more than the woman loves a man. Is it true? Is it factual? Is that the best way to go? If y'all would like to talk about it, the lines are open. If you want to call into the show, totally uncensored show. We stand by the First Amendment around here. You can say it how you mean it. You want to curse, you want to cuss, you want to swear. You could do it where? You could do it right here. You want to yell, you want to scream, you want to holler. It costs you nothing. You can call in. Won't cost you $1. But holler. Yeah, you can talk. You can say whatever you want to. Walk the walk. And you call 319-527-6199. No, let me do it right. You call. You call. You call 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. 319-527-6199, baby. Call 319-527-6199. Press number 1, and that will let me know that you would like to speak. And then I will call you out by the last 4 digits of your telephone number. You can rock on and do the damn, do the damn thing. This is the Daily Go Getimism Show. I am your host, Son 752, aka Omar with the. And if you can't say Omar with the, well, then you just say Omar with the R. Tonight on the Daily Go Getimism Show, we are talking about it works out better when the man loves the woman more than the woman loves the man. If the man consistently loves a woman more than the woman loves the man, how do you make it to marriage? How do you make it to marriage? Because I'm thinking that the only reason that you would consider marrying somebody is if you love them so much that you think, feel, or want to be with them for the rest of your life. Because other than that, what's the point of getting married? Like, would you really want to marry somebody that you could take or leave? Would you really want to marry somebody where, let's say in the first few months it wasn't working out, you would consider getting an annulment? Like, yo, we gonna dead that. We gonna get that out of the way. Like, yeah, I took a shot. I jumped the broom on him. we went to the justice of peace. We entered in that holy matrimony, but it wasn't a good look. Wasn't a good look. But I'm cool. I'm cool. It's a good thing I got out when I saw those red flags because I was starting to fall for them. Or I was starting to fall for it. Jay-Z says, bro, just got here. I disagree with the premise of the video title. Okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And Varshay McDonald says, good topic. Well, see, I got this topic from social media. I've heard a lot of women say this. And I've heard them say it verbally in real life. Like, get you. And the crazy thing about it is, I have heard women say that their mother told them that. They told them to get you a man that likes you more than you like him. Do not settle down with a man that you like more than he does. Like, well, don't settle down with a man who likes you more than you like him. No. Don't settle down with a man who you like more than he likes you. Don't settle down with a man who you love more than he loves you. Because he's going to treat you wrong and you're going to wind up chasing behind him, allowing him to abuse you, allowing him to neglect you, allowing you to allow him to cheat on you and all this kind of stuff. So I'm thinking that if mothers are saying this or teaching this, they probably got it from grandmothers. So you're telling me that there are generations of women that are out here telling all of their women, don't be all in love with your man. Be partially in love with your man. Be marginally in love with your man. Only love your man enough because it is just enough for the marriage. So what we doing? What we doing out here, y'all? Somebody need to talk to me. What are we doing? Varshay says, yes, I was told that. And she was married. Okay. Unconvicted Justice says, man, I was proud to be my wife's husband. Then I came home from work and found my son beaten really bad. In the CPS hearings, I found out everything I knew of her was a lie. Never again. God damn. Yo, man, I'm sorry about that, Unconvicted Justice. What? Yo, that's nasty work. That's crazy. So, wait a minute. Because you really got my interest in that. And once again, I'm really sorry that you went through anything like that because that's terrible. It's possible to marry somebody and not be able to see their aggressive or abusive nature. Is that possible? Because I'm thinking that a red flag like being violent or abusive or impatient to the point where you may threaten violence or use violence in situations where you are frustrated or not getting your way or just being a straight bully. I'm thinking that those red flags might be something that you know about, but and can't really ignore. But, you know, I'm asking, I'm not telling. Varshay says, okay, wait. Unconvicted Justice says they dismissed the case saying he was too young to testify. A child being too young to testify? What kind of... Yo, that's crazy. You gotta be kidding me. Well, I'll tell you what. I hope that your story gets out there, and I hope that it serves as an inspiration to anybody else that ever goes through anything like that. And I hope that the offender gets their just desserts. And more importantly than anything, I hope that your child gets the help that he needs. So, because that trauma is something that he'll remember subliminally, even if he doesn't remember, consciously. So I hope that he leads a healthy life. And I hope that he never encounters. I hope that trauma, I hope that he got the worst in the beginning of his life so that he can spend the rest of his life way more smoother. That's crazy. And he says, let me write down your number. I'll call in. There's so much more to it. Okay. Well, you see it's pinned right there, 319-527-6199. I welcome you to call in. We can definitely talk about that, because that's too much. That's too much. Shoot. We might have to do a whole show, on that alone. You know what I mean? We could talk about that too. That's I don't know. I don't like to hear about children going through shit, because I know how that can affect a child later on in his life, even if he or she doesn't remember that trauma. You never forget that. Fear, the PTSD from that kind of shit. I don't know, but yeah. Okay. 740. Okay. Yeah, when you call in, I'll get you right on in there. I'll get you right on. But yeah, love. It works out better when a man loves a woman more than she loves him. I don't know. I know nothing in life is equal, but I would love or prefer for the scales to be more balanced in that regard. I would definitely prefer for the scales to be more balanced when it comes to something like that. All right. Okay. All right. We have a caller on the line. We're going to take the caller now. All right. Caller with the last number is 3298. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. Thank you so much for calling in. What's on your mind this evening? What's good?
I was just in the chat.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Thanks for calling in.
No problem. No beads tonight?
You know what? Listen, they were coming in so slow tonight that I think that it just kind of slipped my mind. Let me throw them on. Yeah, let me throw them on. So you have been here before. That's what's up. All right, let me get it.
Yeah.
Get my cow bones on in here. There we go. I'm boned up. Let me put on yours. I'm not even asking for a vote tonight. Y'all wearing these. Get these.
There you go.
All right. And let me get the picture. All right. It's a good look. It's a good look, baby. We looking good tonight. Everything is all right. Looking good tonight. Yeah, we got the game tight. Yes. Rock the cow bones. Rock the cow bones till all the cows come home. We are good. Let's get it understood. Yeah, we rocking the cow bones because you know we should. Yeah. All right, let's talk.
Yeah, man. So I'll just get right into it. I came home from work, walked in my back door. I looked at my son, and he was just barely even recognizable. went over to him, grabbed him up. I turned around. I was like, "What happened? What's going on?" To my wife. And I hadn't even had custody of my son for 30 days. I got custody of him because his mom and grandma were abusing him. I found out about that. Went out, started working crazy overtime. Got an attorney, got custody. I think it was 26 days later. I come home, I find him like that. Turn around, ask her like what happened. She said she fell asleep on the couch, and he just came and woke her up and kept saying his face was itching. And that's the only story I got out of her. I threw him in the truck, took him to the hospital. The hospital ends up calling the sheriff. Sheriff calls in CPS. Go into these CPS hearings, and basically I find out that everything that I knew of this woman was a complete lie.
Okay. How long did you know? How long did you know your wife before y'all got married?
I knew her for 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah, 2.5 years. We weren't really that close. So my childhood best friend had introduced me to her, and I just kind of met her in passing then.
Okay.
And so about a year and a half later, she ended up coming back around, and she was actually told me she was doing a surrogacy for her cousin, which was married to my childhood best friend, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So that's how she kind of come back in the picture. We started hanging out. She told me she was a substance abuse counselor. I found out that was a lie. I found out that the whole surrogacy thing was a lie. To be honest with you, I've never sat and talked this out with anybody. So I kind of, like, when I explain to people, I kind of jump around a lot, man, because I've never really been able to process it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
Because at the time that this happened, she had just had my daughter. My daughter was 10 days old. And, after the night going into the hospital with my son, I'd say 2 days later, I had the CPS caseworker call me at work, and she was like, "Hey, you need to get to your house." Which my son, I started taking him to my mom when I went to work. So she told me I need to get to my house. I pull into my driveway. There's 2 detective cars, one sheriff, 2 city police cars, and then the CPS caseworker, like their whatever it is, a van, I guess. It's like one of those little Sprinter vans.
Mm-hmm.
So I get up to my door, and they're like, "Hey, we're removing her from the home because she told us she has never had any history with CPS, and we found out she lied to us." I'm like, "What do you mean she lied? Like, she just moved here." And they was like, "No, she's had CPS cases in 4 other states." And dude, my whole world just dropped right in front of me. You know what I mean? Like, it is the craziest roller coaster of events that I've ever been through in my life.
Yeah, so I can only imagine.
Yeah. So we'll fast forward a little bit. We get into the court hearings. Now, we go in front of a judge who I have a history with. I'm from a small town in Ohio. Mm-hmm. I used to make poor choices. It took me going to prison, and I want to say this before anything. When I got to prison, I took a long look at myself, and I realized I was the problem. I realized it was my thinking that was messed up, and I was able to realize that through the programming that's offered in prison.
Okay.
And so I go into the prison, I apply myself, and I utilize the prison system for exactly what, for what it was designed for. I went in there, like I said, I realized I was the problem. I put myself in programming, I put myself into college. I joined recovery services because, I had a drug problem. In the middle of my prison sentence, I get a letter on JPEG, well, a picture on JPEG, and it's a picture of my Facebook profile picture and this little tiny baby, like side by side, split screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I found out about my son. So, I changed my life. I was in there with a lifer. He was from Detroit. I don't feel like he belongs in prison. This guy's doing 2 life sentences for standing up for his sister, but it's kind of off topic. So, luckily, God placed me in this place with a man who was never going to see the outside of that fence.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the wisdom that this guy gave me made me realize, like, I'm not coming back. I still talk to him to this day. He became my sponsor. In July, I just hit 5 years sober. My last using date was the night that I was arrested,
Okay.
which led to my prison sentence. So we go through all these CPS hearings, whatever. Come to the end, and the prosecutor walks out, looks at me, and tells me, like, hey, we're dismissing everything because your son's too young to take the stand. He's too young to testify. At this time, he's 3 years old. However, part of the whole process with the CPS thing was I had to do what's called a case plan. Even though I was in the clear from the get-go, like, they never suspected me of anything. My job site was a rough part of town, in Columbus, and the job site's under video surveillance. That saved me, or I'd have been a part of all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but at least I feel I would have been. So we go through all this stuff, we work the case plan. Part of the case plan was I had to take my son to counseling. All right, so I get him started into one place, and then the guardian litem steps in and was like, well, we don't really like that facility. Let's put him here. So they ordered me to take him to another place. Get to that place, have him there for about 3 months, and then the counselor actually just switched jobs. So CPS wanted to start over again fresh with another place. So, 3 different times I've restarted all this with my son. And then they made me take him to a forensic psychiatrist. There was 2 detectives, CPS caseworker, the guardian ad litem, and I don't know who the last person was, and I still haven't found out who the last person was. But they was on a one-way mirror, you know what I mean? My son was in this room with the forensic psychiatrist. My son told them in great detail, more detail than any 3-year-old child is going to know, exactly what happened. Okay, and they still dismissed this case. And to be honest with you, I 100% believe that it's because of my history with that judge and who I used to be.
Okay. So you don't think that the judge wanted to allow you to turn your life around? So you
No, and I even said I made this comment in the court hearing one day because she was always real. She didn't seem fair to me,
Yeah.
I'm the only one in this courtroom who's completely clear of everything. And I mean, I became a single father of a 10-day-old baby, and my son, he just turned 3 at the time, overnight, and which is fine. I'm okay with that. However, here I am, a single father trying to take care of my children, and I can't go to work because these people were scheduling all of my appointments right in the middle of the day, knowing that I work, in the big city. You know what I mean? Like, they know I have an hour and 15-minute drive one day, so it's not feasible to go in at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I got to leave at 11.
Mm-hmm.
11:15. You know what I'm saying? So it affected my income, like very much. So, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many factors.
No, I get it. Let me ask you a few questions. All right. Was your child conceived while you were incarcerated, or just before you went in?
Just before.
Just before you went in. Okay. Now, how long was your child incarcerated before you married the mother?
Conceived? Yeah, he was born before I even married.
Okay.
Now, he was beaten by his stepmom. My daughter was with my wife. My son was with my ex.
Okay.
We weren't even together. I was on drugs. I was doing dumb things, making stupid choices. Didn't even know I had a child on the way. But as soon as I got home, I stepped up. I did exactly what any parent would do.
Yeah.
Or any, righteous parent, I guess.
No, I get that you did what a man and what a parent is supposed to do, and I'm glad and proud that you got clean also. So how long had you known the mother of your son before your son was born?
I grew up with her, so I want to say kindergarten, first grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But the mother of your second child, the one. Wait, which one was the abuser?
My wife, which was the mother of my second child. My daughter.
Okay. Mom. So that's the child that and is your second child, your daughter, is that the one that was abused?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was my son.
It was your son.
So it was
all right.
My wife's stepson.
Okay, I get it.
That makes it easy.
Okay, yeah. All right. So did your wife have any children herself?
So I knew about the surrogate baby, and that was the only child I knew about. And it's so embarrassing to say this, man, but in the CPS hearings, I found out she had 8 other children.
What?
That she had lost in 4 states.
So she had 8 children taken away from her?
Yeah.
Shit.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, looking back, I feel so guilty and ignorant about it, man.
Okay. Now, what did she tell you about her children? I know she didn't tell you that she had 8 children taken away. Did she tell you that she had any children?
No, I knew of no other children other than, so when we first started dating, she was pregnant, about to do the surrogacy. The people that had the surrogacy was the surrogate baby was my childhood best friend and his wife, which was her cousin.
Okay, so she actually did do that, though.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so at least she wasn't lying about that part. I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say that was a lie too.
All of it.
Okay. All right.
So she had moved from Tennessee to Ohio. I found out the surrogate baby on it. It was never legal. It wasn't a surrogacy. But went through the CPS cases with my son, I found out if she would have had that child in Tennessee, that the state would have taken the baby. That's the part she left out.
Yo, this is crazy. So, were her other children taken away from her because of abuse allegations?
Neglect and drugs is what the final
Neglect and
findings
drugs.
were.
My God, this 8 children.
8.
So okay,
8 children.
so you didn't. There were no indications that she could be that kind of person while you when y'all were dating or however things were going.
None whatsoever. Until we moved in together after she was pregnant with my daughter. That's when I kind of started noticing like some of these stories aren't adding up, and she would flip up, repeating some of these stories, and I would ask questions, and honestly, man, it's if you don't know thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
looking back, I'm like, why didn't I ask this? What you know what I mean? And when you entrust in someone enough to take that, leap to make the commitment of the rest of your life to them,
Right.
you don't, at least I didn't, and it's just everything, literally everything I knew about this girl was a lie. So one of the things that like really got my attention about her is she told me, she had a rough past, said that she had a 3-year-old child that was shot and killed in her arms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is one child she said she did have before, but wasn't around because of this. So she said this 3-year-old child was shot and killed in her arms because she was with in an abusive relationship. She said that she finally got the courage to leave this guy, that one of the neighbors saw her packing a vehicle, and the guy came home and shot at her. And instead of hitting her, she said that the bullet went through the child and out of her arm, or, into her arm. And what brought the whole story up was there was a scar on her forearm. And I didn't know what it was. I just happened to ask her about it one day. So she told me that's what happened. After all this stuff happened with CPS, and I started finding out things, so I just went on the Facebook, I typed her name in. And one of her old Facebooks came up, and it was her, some guy, and 2 kids. He was holding a child, she was holding a child. And they're standing behind a headstone. They're obviously posing in this picture of the headstone. I see a little bit of the name, and the name was Xavier. It's the same name she told me was the baby that, was killing, So I'm like, wait a minute. That's the guy that she said shot this baby. Why is she standing at this child's headstone if this is the guy that did this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, why is she posing at a picture, in a picture at this headstone? So I get curious. I type in the child's name, and I could see the birth date on the headstone. And I type in the birth date and search obituary. Come to find out, the child was not even hers. And then that child had only lived for less than 24 hours. It wasn't a 3-year-old child that was shot by this guy who's in the picture.
Man, you gotta be kidding me. This is crazy.
So I have been, my name, Unconvicted Justice, that is exactly what my name is. Like, I'm going to get justice for my child. Mm-hmm. This girl has gotten off on this stuff. This would be 9 times now. She cannot have a child in Indiana, Missouri, or Tennessee. She has child abuse or neglect cases. They started out as alleged abuse in Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Tennessee, and now Ohio. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I have a history with that judge. That judge does not like me whatsoever. It's not a secret. Okay. Mm-hmm. I put in a request, a motion for a change of venue based on the history I have with that judge. And of course, that judge you're putting the motion in on is the one who decides. She denied it. So I've been trying to get this out.
Has your ex-wife ever been arrested for any of her abuse allegations or crimes? But I'm wondering why she's still walking the streets.
Oh, well, that I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out myself. Honestly,
Okay.
like it's a big mess and it's a small town. So the people that have the surrogate baby, I found out the girl's not even her cousin. Okay, so that's another lie. Well, the supposed cousin, so the surrogate baby's mother now, was it her aunt? Yeah, her aunt was the administrator for CPS in the county that dealt with all of this stuff. So we brought up the surrogate baby in the court hearing. Everyone kind of scrambled. The judge ordered them to figure out what's going on with that baby. And then next thing you know, the 60 days later for the next hearing, all of a sudden it comes back that my childhood best friend, who was with her cousin, married to her cousin, somehow, some way on the CPS paperwork, it says that DNA came back that he's the father, which is not possible. There's been a lot of, and then like a lot of people are just like, no, there's got to be more to it. Like, I have every bit of all of the paperwork to prove everything.
Mm-hmm.
My divorce hearing was just final on the 30th, so 2 days ago. My attorney told me I couldn't put anything out until that divorce hearing was done so that I could secure my daughter and not piss these courts off and then pull another revenge. To give you an idea of this judge, she looked me dead in my eye and she said, "Sir, I'm going to give you custody of your daughter, but only because I don't have another choice." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that says it all.
That definitely says more than enough.
And so,
now,
how many men out there can handle a 10-day-old baby on their own with a 3-year-old child? You know, and a toddler that is, like my son is traumatized. Like he does not want to leave my hip. I can hardly go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like a snowball effect, man. And that, you know, in the end, I'm going to
totally understand
for it because I'm not going to be able to provide for my child that is too afraid to leave my side.
Yeah, but it sounds to me like you're going to find a way. What do you want to happen to your ex-wife? What would be justice for you? What do you want? What do you want to see happen with her?
I honestly, so it's taken a lot of willpower and a lot of what's the word I want to use? Discipline to let it go and give it to God.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, like I'm not to the point of forgiveness, and I don't know that I ever will be because you know this is my baby, and I think she just needs to be exposed for who she is, and even more so, I think that the courts that allowed this stuff to go along the way that they did need to be exposed as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I went as far as like I'm looking crazy in here. I'm writing motions, you know, like I want this to be, you know, I want it to go to a jury. I want this to be decided by a jury of my peers. And they told me that CPS hearing is an administrative hearing, and there is no jury trial.
Yeah, but for some reason this doesn't sound like a state case, which is crazy. It really is. This is too much.
If you can get onto my YouTube, on my shorts, my second short that I ever posted is the pictures of my son, and this is the 10th day that they, you know what I mean, after they made her leave. This is after 10 days of healing. The pictures of my son on there. And even after 10 days of healing, they're hard to look at. I mean,
yeah, I can imagine.
Obviously, they are for me, but I mean, they would be for you as well.
Yeah, I went on your page and took a look. I didn't watch the short though, but I'll definitely give it a I'll give it a watch when the show ends. Well, once again, man, I'm really sorry that happened to you and that you had to go through that. And I wish you all the best as far as actually, you know, getting the justice for your son that you need. And most importantly, I hope that your son gets the help that he needs in order to, you know, relieve his anxiety, PTSD, childhood trauma. I hope that he'll grow into a productive, happy, you know, a good man as he grows and comes into his own. I hope that somehow, some way that he'll be able to leave that negative, that awful trauma that he experienced. Somehow he'll be able to leave it in his rear mirror. I really hope that for you.
Yeah, you know, it's a process. I have them in, they put him in behavioral therapy and diagnosed him with oppositional defiance disorder and intermittent explosive disorder. And the best way I can describe that, so the intermittent explosive disorder is a more defined part of ODD. So what it is like you and I, like if someone, you know, comes in, you know, like you have trolls come in, you kind of get a little frustrated, you know, first you notice them, then you're frustrated, then you're angry, and then one of them will just completely take you off, you know, off of your game. Well, the intermittent explosive disorder, he cannot work up to an emotion. It goes from 0 to 100 right now.
Yeah, I understand.
So, but there's a positive side of it too, because when he wants to be, you know, my buddy, you know what I mean? Like it's, you know what I mean? It just makes you feel good as a father, you know, it makes you feel like, you know, you're giving him what he needs.
Yeah.
So now the issue is a lot of people, it takes a lot of patience, and you have to react to him a certain way because he feeds off of your energy.
Okay.
So if he does something and you just snap and yell at him, like it's going to set him off. Okay. And, you know, my parents, I grew up with, you know, the paddle, you know what I mean? Like, you can't do that with him. You know what I mean? Yeah, like he gets up, all fired up, gets his little hands going. Like, I got to get down on one knee, get eye level with him, you know?
Yeah.
Grab a hold of his hands, you know, kind of stop him going. I just got to talk to him. And a lot of people don't understand that. So I've been through 17 babysitters in 1 year. And don't even try relationships because that's not happening. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I might be a little too protective now after what I've been through, but I finally let that go. That's not important to me. Like, I'm handling this on my own.
Yeah.
And did you know that even after this case, even with her history with CPS in other states, I still just had to pay $11,000 to get custody of my daughter through the divorce.
Yeah. I'm not even surprised about that. Because I swear the state is such, man, they know how to, they're either going to kill you emotionally or financially or both. It's a shame. It really is. It's shameful.
Yeah. So then I go in and I tell the magistrate in my divorce, you know, he was like, well, and there, she wanted that whole money. I had to fight that too. So, he was asking me like, well, why is it that last year you was working this amount of hours and this year you only, and I told him like about my son, and this guy looked me dead in my eye, and it took everything within my soul to keep my ass planted in that chair. But this guy, after I explained to him, my son, he looks at me and he says, well, I think it sounds like a parenting problem. When I brought up the stuff my wife went through, what my wife did to him, he told me that I couldn't use none of that, and had what I said stricken from the record because she was never charged with it.
Right. So they considered that hearsay. Mm-hmm. That is some bullshit.
Yeah.
So
they wouldn't even look at the pictures of him.
So 8 counts of children being taken away from her, and you can't, and there's no evidence to support. I don't know. That's just too much.
Well, CPS were the only ones that could physically get their hands on the documents that proved that claim,
right? Which
were submitted into the CPS hearing. When I went to get them, that's a juvenile case. They're sealed, so I wasn't able to obtain them. And then the CPS caseworkers in the town that I'm from, that our case was involved in, couldn't give me no information like that either.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the issue.
Mm.
And then when all this stuff was going on, they told me that if I were to, I begged them for like a trespass order or a protection order for my home, because the judge told me to be very careful, because if I was to leave with my kids, take my kids to the babysitter and me go to work, and she was to slide into my house while I was at work, because we were married, right, there's nothing that could be done to it other than I couldn't take the kids back home because she wasn't allowed around the kids.
Right.
So then I was stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? And then middle of winter, my daughter's at this point 3 weeks old. I wake up freezing cold one morning. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I look over at my daughter. She's in her bassinet beside me. Her lips are purple. She was so cold. She kicked her blanket off through the night. She like kicks around in her sleep.
Mm-hmm.
My ex-wife had shut my utilities off. I called, get them turned back on, come back home the next day. I literally went to Walmart, which is 4 blocks from my house. Like, I had to run in real fast and back home to get what, it was formula that I needed to go get formula. And I come back and my electric is off again. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I called in and they tell me it was shut off by a resident, and it was, her. Well, since we were married, I couldn't do shit about that either. So I had to put my utilities in my mom's name.
Oh, shit.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so wait.
$250 deposit. She got that money back, shut my electric off. I paid another $250 deposit. She did that to me 2 times.
So, aside from your ex-wife being abusive, she sounds like she just straight up mean too.
She's just cold-hearted, the most evil entity. I can't call her a human that I've ever come across in my whole entire life. Well,
how long did it take before she started to display these characteristics?
So about, let me give her the benefit of the doubt and say a week after CPS removed her from the home.
Mm-hmm.
So what had happened is she called me up one day and she was like, I guess it was only supposed to be a week for them to figure out what was going on with the other states. What had happened with the other states. Well, they found out it was way worse than what they thought. So she was never allowed to come back to the home.
Mm-hmm.
Because the kids were there. Not because she couldn't be on the property.
Right.
She just couldn't be around the kids.
Okay.
So, she called me one day and she was like, "Hey, it's going to be longer than what I expected. I need you to gather some of my things." Okay, fine, whatever. So I start gathering her stuff, and in one of the drawers in my bedroom, I found all of these missing phone charger cords that nobody knew what happened to, that she blamed on my son, actually. I found little cups with cotton balls in them, syringes, you name it. Little, Ziploc miniature baggies. I knew what it was. I have the history, and that's one thing that I stood firm on when I came home, was I would never go back to that life.
Yeah, I understand. So, yeah. This is
for the sake of my children, I called the same caseworker. I was like, "You guys need to come and get this shit out of my house." You know what I mean? Like, she wants this stuff. You know what I mean? That she can have whatever she wants. At this point, she can have everything that belongs to her, which was hardly anything at all. So I started gathering stuff up. That caseworker sent the detective that was on the case to my house to pick everything up. The guy was cool to me, you know what I mean? I bagged everything up, got it out of there. He's like, "I'm sorry that you found this in the home with your kids." The guy was cool. I go into the court. The same judge did not accept that as any type of evidence for anything, and looks me dead in my eye and tells me, "Well, sir, technically you were the one in possession of it when the police came to get it." So that was thrown out. You know what I mean? Like, you see where I'm coming from now? Like, is it just me, or is it obvious what was going on here? Was this judge not a non-biased third party?
No, I definitely see where you're coming from. I totally get it. So, I don't like it, but I totally get it. But
so October 30th was my final divorce hearing. I drove a packed U-Haul to the final divorce hearing. I come out of the hearing. I went and picked up my kids, got on my phone. I Googled, where would be the easiest place for me to get a job in my profession in the United States, because at this point I'm out of this town. Okay, a town in North Carolina popped up as the fastest growing city in the United States. I freaking set my GPS to there, and I've been here for 2 days.
Okay. All right. In terms of the topic of what we were talking about tonight, did you feel like at any time during your relationship, when y'all were seeing each other and after y'all got married, did you feel like you loved her more than she loved you, or did you feel like she loved you? Oh, so you did.
I did. Oh. Yeah, and here's the thing, and I overlooked it because I thought it was her just being so hard on herself because of all the things that she had told me she had been through in her past. And I looked her dead in her eye one night. I sat her down and I said, "Grace, that all stops with me. Put all that behind you. You don't have to worry about any of this anymore." 3 days later, I find my son like that. Like, I remember what she was wearing that night. We had that talk. I remember what job I was on that day. I remember what I had to have my truck repaired, that morning on the way to work. It has air ride on it, and there was a pinhole in one of my airbags. So I'm going down the freeway, and all of a sudden I feel my truck just gradually getting lower, and next thing I know, my frame's dragging on the ground. So, I remember all of that like it was yesterday. And this has all been drug out for 2 years. You know what I mean? To see your child like that is one thing, but to see your child like that and see the people that put you in a program that made you change your life, completely dismiss what happened to him, is just a whole different scenario. And I even sat in that courtroom when I spoke to this judge as the guardian ad litem is making me out to be a monster for getting sent to prison for my very first violation was community control for drinking alcohol, which was the day after, one of my really, I'll just tell you, my brother was killed in the military. And I went out the next day with a couple of the guys that was in the, it's called a buddy program, where you enlist with a friend, for a higher sign-on bonus. I went out with them and I had some beers. Well, my son's mom ended up calling my probation officer and telling them I was at this bar. Mind you, I just lost my little brother. You know what I mean? Like, one of the hardest things I've ever done was see this army chaplain come up and tell my parents what happened to their child.
Yeah.
And I couldn't take it. At that point, I was 18 months sober. I wasn't ready for that type of trauma in my sobriety yet. Which is not an excuse. That's on me. I made that choice. But, to get back to the point, I told that judge, I said, if you guys never even believed in the system that you just put me through, then what the hell are we doing here right now? Because if it wasn't for that prison sentence I just served, I would not be who I am. I wouldn't think like I do today. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I said that because this guardian ad litem's just dogging me out for my history. I have one possession of marijuana when I was 19 years old. And I've been in trouble for child support. That is it. The only thing on my record.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, for this lady just dogged me out. And I told her, like, you don't even believe in this system. Why do you work in it?
Yeah, that's your whole testimony is just too much. That's crazy. That it really, really is.
It's very crazy. I've called civil rights attorneys all over the place, and they tell me, like, we're not going after a court. So I started doing some research, and I found out that obviously anyone in the court system has a bar card. When you take your oath to the bar, it says that your first responsibility is to the court. Your second responsibility is to the judge, and then your client. That's why nobody wants, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's.
And I'm just some dumb kid from the wrong side of town. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not supposed to know the things I know, but I've been studying for 2 years, and the things that I've realized about how court actually works is just, it's mind blowing. One of the maxims of law says
it is not a good look.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I'm at a loss.
Yeah. So, all right. So you're still fighting the case. Listen, I'm just gonna say this, because I gotta let you go. But I just want to say, man, I wish you all the best of luck. And if there's anything that we can do to help, please let me know. But yeah, like, I'm really my biggest concern is your son and his ability to be able to be independently, comfortable and satisfied, and I mean, we all want our children to be well adjusted and live healthy lives and be able to thrive and do well in life. And I think that at least he has at least one parent who's going to look out for him, or who is looking out for him. And it's going to take time, and it's going to take therapy and all of that kind of stuff, but it will, and it can, and it will be turned around. And I hope that definitely happens for you.
I believe it will. And I want to tell you this before you let me give.
Okay.
I watch your lives all the time. I kind of sit back, you know what I mean? And it's not because I'm not interacting. It's because one of the things that I learned is I listen to people to hear them instead of to respond.
That's
So
cool.
I watch your lives all the time, and the wisdom that you put out, you've helped me a lot more than I could ever even tell you. Like, and that's all it takes. Sometimes we just gotta shut up and listen.
My dad used to say that all the time, and it's true. But listen, I'm glad that I could help you in any way. Whether I'm conscious of it or not. We are here to help. That is what this is predicated on. I'm not. It may look like I'm just up here flapping my gums, but I generally want to help people and see them do well. You know what I mean? So
I genuinely believe that out of you, and I do appreciate you. And I'm actually shocked that I had to write your number down, because as I started writing it, I started singing your jingle. I knew this number.
I know, right? Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, man, I appreciate you. You have helped me extremely, extremely. And this is the first time I've spoken on it here and there, but I've never gotten out on anything like this.
I'm glad that you're putting it out there, and I hope that you get it even farther, and you persevere and keep going, just like you said that you would. You made that promise to yourself, and you made that promise to your son, and I want to see you, finish that race and win it.
I will finish. I will. I absolutely will, and I don't want anything monetary. I just want. So it's not going to cost the taxpayers a dime.
Hey, that's fair. That sounds fair to me. Well, I'm pulling for you. We're pulling for you, and I hope to hear some more. Make sure that you keep us posted or whatever. The lines are always open. So anytime you want to come on, if you want to come on again, don't hesitate to dial the number.
I absolutely will. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Have a good night, man.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Yeah, that, when I was listening to his story, it took me back. It took me back to a different time. First of all, I want to. Oh my God, Crazy Steve. Sheesh. What up, Crazy Steve? Thanks for coming on through, punk. It's all good though. But when I was listening to Unconvicted Justice, when I was listening to him, tell his story, and it's a heartbreaking story, it really is. But it took me back to the crack days. It really did. It took me back to the crack days of the 80s and the 90s, where you saw so much of unbalanced, toxic relationships, where children would get caught up in abusive situations, sometimes even unmentionable things like prostitution and stuff like that, due to their parents' addiction. Many of those children are now in their 30s. Some of them are in their 40s now. You know what I'm saying? Let's say if you were born in 1981, the first time I ever heard of crack was like around 1983, 1984, or something like that. And when it really got bad, from my experience, I've never tried crack or anything like that. But, when you start to see the evidence of how bad it is out here, well, I'm looking at like 1985, 1986, 87, 88. The 80s were really, really ravaged by that drug. And so many children were abused and neglected and put aside and put in compromising positions, and pretty much put in positions where their lives would never I want to say that their lives would never be the same, but we didn't have anything to compare it to. So I knew that going forward, it wasn't going to be a progressive, productive road for them. Some of them made it through, but many of them had problems. So on behalf of Convicted Justice and the Daily Go Getimism Show, Urban Therapy with Son, I hope that he gets he gets for his son what his son deserves. Let's just say I hope everybody gets what they deserve. I hope everybody gets what they deserve. Welcome everybody to the Daily Go Getimism Show. We've been talking about even if off key sometimes, but what we're talking about tonight is it works better when the woman loves. I'm sorry. It works better when a man loves a woman more than she loves him. Do y'all agree with that? Because you can kind of see, like if you're dealing with, I'm not trying to get on women's backs or whatever, but for this to be a situation that so many women have been taught, passed down from generation, from great grandmom to grandmother to mommy, down to the daughters, down to the granddaughters, the great granddaughter. For that to be the case, that kind of shows you where we are generationally, culturally, and it shows the lack of trust that men and women have for each other. It's bad out here. Why would you need somebody to love you more than you love them in order for it to be a comfortable situation? Because to me, it just shows that there's a lack of trust in the whole situation. It just shows that in order for me to get comfortable, I have to be able to be willing to lose you or not have the threat of losing everything if you're out of my life. Whether it's through a breakup, whether it's through a death, whether it's through me just getting sick of your shit. But that seems to be what we're working with. Is it? Is that what we're working with? Well, she says the men should have it, but men have so many options these days. So that's why women try to control everything. Interesting. Okay. That's what Varshay says. Okay. And Crazy Steve says it's toxic to be a man in 2024. Really? And Varshay says, I think women are in survival mode these days. I think it's selfish as women. I think it's selfish as a woman to be that. And I'm a young lady myself, but it's like everybody is so traumatized, so they try to care about themselves. True. But I did a show last year. Yeah, last year. And the show was called something about allowing yourself to be controlled by your ex. And let me explain what we were talking about on that show. I was saying that if you're going to allow the things that happen between you and your ex to play out in your current relationships or even in your current life or lifestyle, then you might as well still be with your ex. You might as well call them up and ask, can y'all get back together, regardless of how the situation was. Now, I understand the psychology of certain things, and I realize that it's not always easy to be in a relationship. It's not easy to break up from one. It's not easy to be out of one. It's not easy, period. But if you spend your time being haunted, controlled, influenced by the things that your ex told you, showed you, did to you, any of those things, what's the point in you either being by yourself or being with somebody else? So if you can't give your all to your current relationship, if you can't find a way to trust them, to love them, to give them a chance because of what's been done to you by the last one or the one before that or the one that's holding you back from being in a healthy relationship, then you might as well be back with them. Let me give you an example. Let's say that your ex used to always tell you that you're not good enough. I don't care whether they were talking about not good enough as far as a talent that you had, not good enough in bed, not good enough at your job, not good enough as a parent, not good enough as a friend, not good enough as a son, not good enough as a cousin, not good enough as a brother, not good enough, whatever the case may be. And for some reason, their disbelief in you, their lack of faith in you, either motivated you to do better or at least be able to take those bullets out of the gun that they kept shooting you with. So that's your response to being shot. They cop back, bow, 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 bow. And your defense is to somehow get the gun and take the bullets out. Not move out of the way to a place where they can't shoot you anymore, but to take the bullets out of the gun. Do y'all understand the metaphor? Because I know sometimes I use examples that may not exactly click. But what I'm saying is sometimes instead of eliminating a problem or getting out of the way of the problem or getting in a safe space so we can avoid those problems, or just doing better for ourselves so we don't have those problems, sometimes we just try to make a way for us to be able to deal with the problems or not hear the problems. Like, I'm going to let the song keep playing, but I'm going to turn it down. Maybe or I'm going to let the video, I'm going to let the images still get into my mind and mess me up, but I'm going to put it on mute. Like, how many of y'all, be honest, remember 9/11? Remember remember the images of the planes hitting the first tower and then the second tower? Remember how they hit the second tower? We didn't get, the first tower was a little sketchy because we didn't expect that to happen. But remember the second tower, how it looked like it went past it, like it looked like it went past the second tower and then came back and hit it. Remember how many times you rewound that shit? It was like you couldn't stop watching it. So whether you watched it, so it's the image itself that was fucking you up. But you might have put it on mute so you don't have to hear the crying, the screaming, the, oh my God. But it's the image that's fucking you up. Watching people jump out of the windows, watching the towers fall, watching the people around, all that dust, and you know what I'm saying? Imagine doing that, and many of us have done it. Imagine us doing that in a relationship because we love them more than they love us. So in order to deal with that situation, we just turn the volume down a little bit, or we push the mute button. You get slapped up. Get slapped upside your head. It don't matter if you heard the smack. You felt the smack. So I have nothing against anybody defending themselves at all costs. I have nothing. I believe in self-defense, but I do have something against putting yourself in harm's way time after time, day after day. I got a problem with that. So if you're going to let your ex fuck up everything that you have going on with your current or just a love interest, then you might as well go ahead and be back with your ex. Go ahead and call him up. He probably ain't doing nothing. Man, fuck it. You know what? You know how you ever dial a number, then try to put your phone down like, nah, man, I ain't calling that shit. Well, I just dialed a number. It don't hurt to dial a number. Well, it ain't my phone, so I'll just press the You might play this little game for 5 or 10 minutes. Should I call? Should I not? Shit, if they already running shit, if they are the Geppetto, pulling the puppet strings of your Pinocchio ass, you might as well just let them go ahead and rock. Go ahead and get back with them. If you don't want to get back with them, then get them the fuck out of your life. But to me, this whole concept of it works out better when a man loves a woman more than a woman loves the man, it just seems like that's coming from a place of hurt. And we're accepting that shit. Even standing up for it. Like, yeah, well, ain't nothing wrong with that. My man, TX Price. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, my brother? Without a doubt. Scene Flexing says, I disagree. I try to find an equal kind of thing. And now, even if it's not equal, it should be good. Like, I don't necessarily have to feel exactly the way that you feel, but I should be feeling good about you. How about that? Can I feel good about you? And that's not to say that in this situation where the man loves the woman more than the woman loves him. That's not to say that doesn't work for them. But it's the motivation behind it that I'm concerned about. It's the motivation. It's the reason that she feels like it works out better that way. Because if she's an evil type chick and she knows that he loves her more than she loves him, because maybe she don't love him at all, but she likes his money and he takes care of the kids. He's down to pay some bills and he comes through all the time. He drives, I don't. He will, I won't. He don't mind when I get mad and I starts coming out my mouth with some crazy ass shit and shout. And I sometimes go to the top of my lungs and he don't be mad at me at all. I'm strung on this type of shit and I'm wrong. But I'm going to do this shit as long as the day is long. And we go on and on. Yo, I've been doing this shit. I was taught that since I was born as a little girl, writing skirts. My mom said, make sure love don't hurt. And the only way to do that is make sure the scales are unbalanced. Yeah. And then, and if you love them too much, you better leave the motherfucker alone because you get touched. That's how babies get born, baby. I understand the responses to being hurt. First of all, wait a minute. Hold on. Slow it down. Rewind. Yo, do me a favor, y'all. Do me one little solid. Please hit that like button. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Hit that like button. Share the show. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Daily Go Get 'Emism Show. I'm your host on 752, aka Omar with the rrr. I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. Tonight we are talking about it works better. It works better when the man loves the woman more than the woman loves the man. It works a little better when the man loves the woman a little better. Is it getting wetter? If she don't love him as much as he love her, how her panties be getting wet? Maybe they don't. I mean, just keeping it a buck. There are plenty of women. There are plenty of women out there that will not allow a man to pleasure her. Real shit. There are plenty of women in this world. They might be your sister's aunts, cousins, your mom. A lot of women out there actually look at sex with some men like they don't want a man that'll make them come. They don't want to have an orgasm by a man because they know that they will start to become more vulnerable. Like, if he makes me squirt, if I splash on him, then if I splash on him, might spit some cash on him. If I splash on him, might spit some cash on him. I know if I splash on him and spend a little cash on him, one thing is for sure, I ain't never going to dash on him. Yo, Poppy, pull down your trousers. We about to get into the shit. I'm about to go a little crazy from the last time you had me squinch. All right. We have another call on the line. Caller with the last numbers 0297. Thank you for holding. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight? What's good?
Hey, this is Ed from Detroit. My YouTube channel is InfoSpot411.
No doubt. Good to hear from you, Ed.
Well, thanks. I just wanted to see if you were game for a friendly election bet wager.
Okay. Let's
Okay,
I'm willing to hear you out.
What I'm proposing.
All right.
I will, if Harris wins, I'll do a $25 Amazon gift card. I'll get the number. I'll email it to you. But if Trump wins, you got to wear a mega hat for one show.
Fair enough.
It's friendly wager bet.
Fair enough. That's fair.
Or if you want something different, let me know. I'm game too. You want something different than a $25 Amazon gift card? Let me know.
No, that's a good thing. Tell you what, this is what we'll do. If Harris wins, you send the $25 gift card, but we'll give the gift card away to somebody. We'll make it for one of the other viewers.
That's fine. I'll get the gift card, and then what I'll do is I'll get with you your email address, and all I gotta do is just email you the number.
Right.
Once you have that number, you can give it away or buy yourself something, whatever you want to do with it.
No, I'm going to give it away. We'll make everybody will have a chance to win.
That's good with me. A friendly election bet wager. I just wanted to say I enjoy your show each night, and I'm gonna listen in here for another half hour before I hit the sack.
Appreciate you, man. And listen, I'm glad that just like last night, we can have discourse, we can go back and forth, we can trade information and still be okay with each other. And that's the most important thing. You know what I mean? All that other shit. At the end of the day, we still have to live in this country, and we still have to deal with the fallout of whoever is the candidate or the winner. So I'm here for it.
True. You got it. Yep.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in.
Okay. Yep. Thanks. You bet.
All right. Have a good one. Bye. All right. We got a good situation here. We got a good situation. My man Info Spot, Ed from Detroit. Info Spot. Oh, you know what I meant to tell Ed? I should have bust his balls. I'm like, Trump don't even know about the Detroit Lions. You gonna vote for somebody who don't even he didn't even know Detroit was the number one NFC team this season. You know what? That's bad Trump, bad MAGA. Bad Trump, bad MAGA. No good MAGA. MAGA sucks. Motherfucker was in Michigan. He was in Michigan earlier today. He didn't even know. He like, what's a good high school team that's really good right now of football? They was like, the Detroit Lions, fuck them high school teams. Nobody care about the Wolverines and none of that shit. The Lions, the hottest NFL team in the actually they are. The Chiefs are undefeated. Okay. Fuck that. NFC. All right, man. But Crazy Steve says it takes a real man to express his feelings. That's true. Depending on the feelings, though. There's some, you got to watch feelings nowadays. These cats are very, very. Let's just say they have no problem expressing their feelings. Manifest Reality. What's good? What's good? Thanks for coming through. And Carrie Zilla, appreciate you. And hold on. Mookin, wait. Mookin, wait, I gotta get it right. Mookin beer. Mookin beer, sing? I got the sing right. But you know, I would let my ex or my present. Oh, you mean I wouldn't let my ex or my present or anyone treat me badly? True. And what up, Magnolia? Thanks for coming through, y'all. Appreciate y'all. And Mookin beer says no one deserves to be talked to like that. If we side the best that we if we side the best, we can move on. Okay. Crazy Steve says facts. Leave that baggage at the door when you enter a new relationship. Don't get into a new relationship until you have recovered from your last. It's not fair to the other person. Well, recovery is a whole different type of deal. What I'm just talking about is being fair to yourself. Being fair to yourself. And you're not being fair to yourself if you are allowing your ex. I don't care if your ex is still, lightly stalking you, still calling you when you know that you don't want to be contacted, or still coming around, popping up at your mama house. You know how it goes. Sometimes your ex was in good with your parents and shit. They popping up. Your mom's birthday, they popping up. Hey, mom, bought you something. Happy birthday. Christmas time. Got you a present. Thanksgiving. Hey, I got you a turkey. Or would you like a ham? Got it from the honey baked ham store. You know you can't resist honey baked ham. Yeah, I know you're a Muslim, but it's honey baked ham. Yeah, you right. Come on, man. But if you're going to allow your ex to go ahead and run shit, then you might as well get back with him or her. It don't make no sense. My ex told me I never wasn't going to be shit. So you got to be something for your ex.
60 seconds.
And I'm not even bullshitting. You know what I mean? I know people who have done this shit. Yeah, well, she used to always tell me that I wasn't going to be successful, that I wasn't going to make it. That's why I work a little bit harder every day. Motherfucker, you should have been working hard anyway. You got kids. Are you working hard for them? You got people who love you, respect you, and depend on you. You got a job, you got a career, you got clients and people that you have to write checks for. Can you work a little harder for them? You want to work hard because somebody told you couldn't do it? I don't know. I know it sounds good. Yeah, I did what everybody told me they couldn't do. I mean, I did what everybody told me that I couldn't do. So what? Did you do what you said that you could do? I did it because, everybody said I couldn't do it. They said I wasn't never going to be nothing. They said I wasn't nowhere going to. Hold on. They told me that I wasn't going to be nothing. They told me that I wasn't never going nowhere. They told me that I would never be anything out here that you would respect, and where I was going, where I was flowing, I was almost down. But I picked up myself and I'm still around. So even though she treated me bad, my teachers and everybody that came around, I was glad that I finally got myself together. So I do it for them. I do it for my haters. I see you later. Or why the fuck would you do it for your haters when you got a whole bunch of lovers and brothers? I say, well, you can do it for anybody you want, but I'll be goddamn if I do it for somebody who fronted on me and mine. I'ma still shine just like the sky and the sun upon but my head that hangs high. I don't know, man. I know this. We are just about done. We started at 1. So we're just about done. We started at 1, so we are just about done. But we will be back this afternoon between 1 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure y'all come through for the Daily Go Get It. I mean, for the Urban Therapy with Sun show. I'll even tell y'all what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to tell you in advance what we're going to be talking about later on today. Y'all going to like this. We're going to be talking about I wouldn't have to cheat if they was doing what they were supposed to do. That's what I wouldn't have to cheat if they was doing what they were supposed to do. I wouldn't have to cheat if they was doing what they were supposed to do. I wouldn't have to cheat if they was doing what they were supposed to do. I said I wouldn't have to cheat if they was doing what they was supposed to do. Somebody left me out in the cold and I'm on hold, stranded out here, just like I don't have a phone and I got a flat tire. My shit is about to expire. Plus, I'm almost out of gas. This shit is really bad. It's feeling like ass, and I didn't really prepare before I came out, but I had to make sure that I changed a different route, and I'm going now sort of like a snail that got salt poured on his back, and I lack the type of things that I really need right now, but somehow I'm gonna break it out. I'm down like a submarine, keep my sneaks clean, make sure that I give you shining bright like some apple sheen all up in your hair like I did in 92, and you wasn't there around, but now here you go. I say that I know we can make a way. And Germantown, Philadelphia is where I stay. Actually, born and raised, I'm in North Philly. These days, everything is okay. To the Most High, I give praise. All right. Let's do this. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious November 1st, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. Get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box. Let's see here. Tasha Rivers, happy birthday to you, and Heidi Reynolds, happy birthday to you, and also Kimberly Johnson, go get her, happy birthday to you, and Tasha Griffith, and Nikki Boo, happy birthday to you, Nikki Boo, and Delinda Zambrana, happy birthday to you, and unapologetically Kenya Lawhorn, happy birthday to you, and my girl, last but not least, my girl C.R. Capers. New York, Harlem, stand up all day, every day. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious November 1st, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, the rock out. Rock on it, do the damn, rock out. Rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. Anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and go hard, go for your what? Go hard, go for yours. And remember, man, listen, I don't know. They say it works out better when a man loves a woman more than a woman loves the man. When a man loves a woman, I guess he can't expect her to love him back. And even if she does, it won't be exact. I don't know, man. I struggle. I struggle with a situation like this because why would anybody want to be loosely in love with somebody that they with? Why would you really want the scales to be that unbalanced? Well, the ghosts of bad relationships past might come to haunt you. Ooh, like Halloween was last night, right? Ooh, I am the ghost of bad relationships past. Oh, I'm coming back to diss you and make you feel bad. I'm coming to demoralize you. I'm here to make you feel like you're worthless. I'm here to put doubt in your mind. Self-doubt. No belief in self. Lack of self-confidence. No self-esteem. The ghosts of bad relationships past, baby. You know what I mean? The ghosts of bad relationships past. Guadalupe Lopez. ¿Cómo estás? Cheryl Halsey in the house. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all mucho, mucho. Appreciate y'all. The ghosts of bad relationships past. Ooh. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Fuck this. We're gonna get this whole thing. Going for. You know what I mean? Hold on. Here come the ghosts of bad relationships past, y'all. Ooh. I am the ghost of bad relationships past, and I've come here to get in your ass. No diddy. If you think you felt bad before, you're gonna feel bad now. I'm not even gonna allow you to love your new current relationship as much as they love you. The ghost of bad relationships past is back to front on you. You're gonna get fronted on, baby. You're gonna get fronted on. I've come back just to diss you. No, I don't want to kiss you. I just want to diss you. Hold on. No, I want to kiss you. Only want to diss you. Don't want to kiss you. Only want to diss you. Came here to make you feel bad. Came here to make you get mad. Came here to make you feel sad. Yeah. I am the ghost of bad relationships past, and I'm fucking up your shit, and it's gonna last. You can't get me out of your system. Soon as you think I'm gonna dish you. Once again, one more time, I'm gonna make sure the sun don't shine for you, but none of yours, not you, your girls, none of your boys. You understand? I'm the ghost. I'm the ghost. I'm the ghost. I'm the ghost. Row! Like a dungeon dragon. All right, man, let's get on up out of here. All right, I can take off my uniform. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. Let me take y'all uniform off of y'all too. Y'all can clock out. For those of y'all who didn't see what you looked like tonight, this was you. Look how good you look. Do you see yourself? Do you see yourself? This is a good look if I ever saw one. All right. So we're going to be back here between 1 and 1:30 p.m. Not that it's only a half an hour show. What I mean is we're going to start from between 1 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. because you know it's late, and on Saturday morning I don't be wanting to get up at all early, but I will be here. Promise. Guadalupe says 50 got nothing on you, bro. Yo, I appreciate you, my dude. Yo, y'all have a good night, man. All right. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Yo, have a good, happy first of the month. Peace. All right.